evening friends, welcome back. In this video tutorial we are going to see about the digestive system, which is the continuation of the part 1. So as I said yesterday, you can see here the oral cavity, that is called as buccal cavity. Buccal cavity is called as oral cavity, that is a mouth actually. So the mouth consists of teeth, tongue as well as saliva, which is secreted by the salivary gland. So all this together makes the food into the proper mixture, then only it will be going into your esophagus and then to the stomach. So you can relate your mouth with the juicer mixer. So the mixer will be containing the blades which will be very sharp. So you can relate your teeth with that blade actually. The blade is used for cutting the large pieces into smaller pieces. Similarly, your teeth is also used to cut the larger food particles into smaller food particles. And also you can relate the motor which rotates the mixer with your tongue. So the tongue will rotate in your mouth and used for mixing the food materials. And you will be adding water to the grinding material. So you can relate the water with this saliva. So saliva will be mixing up with the food material. So the complete mixture will be happening. So this mixture is called as bolus. So this bolus will be entering into the region called as pharynx. So pharynx is the common passage for food as well as air. So through the nostrils, through the nose, you will be taking the air from outside. So the air will be entering through the nostrils and it will be going here and it will be entering into this trachea. So this is a common passage. From here to here, it is a common passage for air as well as for food material. So after passing this pharynx, you can find the division. So two tubes will be going like this. This is a common tube and two tubes will be separating like this. One will be trachea and another will be esophagus. So esophagus is for the passage of the food material, as well as this trachea is for the passage of the air which we breathe in, that goes to the lungs. So whenever you are taking food, usually what they will tell, you should not talk while you are taking food. Why will they? So because you will be, when you are taking food, there is a chance that your food particles can enter inside the windpipe, which is called as trachea. So this larynx is called as the voice box. When you talk, your voice comes out of from this larynx. So it may open. So during that time, what will happen? The food, there is a chance for the food to enter into this larynx and enter into the windpipe. Some cases what will happen? It can even cause death of the person also. So you should not talk while you are having food. So I can show you with one example. You can see here. Imagine this long tube as a esophagus and this before one tube, small tube, is called as this trachea. Okay. So usually it will be like this only. The behind will be esophagus. The front side will be called as this trachea. So you can see the hole is here. So this larger hole is called as esophagus, through which the food will be entering. This small hole is called as trachea, through which the wind will be going. The air will be going inside. So what happens when you are taking food? When you are taking food, the food will be entering this way. So what happens? Clearly see here. From here, the mouth is here. The food is coming through this way. It will be going and hitting here. So what happens? This will close the opening of here. Trachea opening. So trachea opening will be closed here. So what happens? The air will not be going here. So what happens now? Only the food particles will be going inside the esophagus, not into the trachea. You can clearly see whenever the food come and touches here, it will be closing. So this closing portion is called as epiglottis. So this epiglottis is present here. Whenever the food comes from the mouth, that will automatically close the opening called as glottis. So glottis continues to the larynx and larynx continues to the trachea. So you can see detailed like when we are taking about the respiration. Now we will see about the process of digestion. So what happens? The food will be entering here in esophagus. So in esophagus, if you see, the bolus which enters from the buccal cavity will be traveling through the pharynx and from pharynx to the esophagus. So esophagus is a short pipe from here to here. So esophagus only connects to the stomach, which is J-shaped stomach. So the stomach consists of 4 parts actually. The topmost part is called as fundus, and then here it is called as cardiac portion, and this is the main body, and the bottom is called as pyrolic region. And inside the stomach, here you can find gastric juices. So what are all the gastric juices present inside the stomach? If you see, the main thing is HCl, that is called as hydrochloric acid, and then we'll be having mucus. The mucus is the waxy substance, and also we'll be having the enzyme called as pepsinogen. So these together it is called as gastric juices. So these gastric juices will be present inside your stomach. So here, as I already said, what the saliva will do, the saliva consists of salivary amylase enzyme. The salivary amylase enzyme will broken down these food particles which you are taking, the carbohydrate, into smaller maltose, like that is called as disaccharide molecules. So similarly here also the enzyme called as pepsinogen. This is inactive enzyme. When it will be activated means when it is reacting with the HCl, it will get be activated and it becomes pepsin. So when it reacts with the HCl, pepsinogen will become pepsin and it gets activated. After activated, this pepsin will be breaking down our protein materials. So we are taking so much of protein food. All the protein food will be digested into simpler peptides. Peptide means short sequence of amino acids. The example, protein is made up of 100 amino acids. Peptides may be like 10, 20, 30 amino acids together. It is called as peptides. So proteins will be degraded into smaller peptide molecules. The further degradation will be happening in the small intestine. So this is the main function of pepsinogen. So what is the function of mucus we have to see. So in mouth, I said saliva will be there. Saliva will be producing salivary amylase. Along with the salivary amylase, it also produces bicarbonates, for example, like sodium, chloride ions, and bicarbonates, HCO3 minus and potassium, and these are the bicarbonates produced by the salivary glands which is present in the saliva. So this salivary gland, bicarbonates, all those things also will enter into the stomach. So these bicarbonates, sodium, potassium, chloride ions, all those things will join together with this mucus, and that will protect our stomach epithelial layer. So inside the stomach, if you imagine this is a stomach, this lining is there. So this lining will be protected by this mucus and this sodium, chloride, bicarbonate, all those things. So why it should be protected? Because you have HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, that is acid in nature, acidity will be there. So this acid may go and damage this lining. This lining will be damaged when exposed to this HCl. So to protect from the HCl, it will be protected by the mucus and all those things. So this is the main function of this mucus. If the mucus is not secreting not well, then what will happen? Your lining will be damaged and you may lead to ulcer also. And the another thing, if you see, after all these processes, it will be slowly mixing up. So how many like minutes or hours the food will be stored in the stomach? Nearly 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 5 hours the food will be stored in the stomach, and all these processes will be taking place. And the movement is called a churning movement. Churning movement means here it will be back and forth, it will be moving and mixing like this. All the food materials will be mixed and the digestion process will be going on. As a result, you will get one product. The product is called as chyme. So chyme, here it is called as bolus. As a result of mouth, when the digestion is going place, it is called as bolus. And then as a result of the digestion which is taking place in the stomach, it is called as chyme. This chyme only will enter into the small intestine, that is the next portion of this alimentary canal. The first is called as mouth, buccal cavity. From buccal cavity it goes to the esophagus. From esophagus it enters into the stomach. In stomach it forms chyme. It is like what to say, it is not completely digested, it is half digested. We can say it is half digested food material. From here again it enters into small intestine, where it is completely digested, all the materials will be absorbed. So this is the overall view up to this stomach. So in the further class we can see about what is happening in the small intestine, how the materials are absorbed and how the excretory materials are excreted out from our body. Thank you friends. Thank you so much for watching this video.